careful with that.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Agent Carter After Show on the Stream.tv. You should follow along on Twitter. You can use the hashtag AgentCarterAS or @AgentCarterAS. And also don't forget to subscribe to the Stream.tv here on YouTube. So, I am joined, as ever, by the most amazing people on the planet. To my left, we have Bryan Scheidler of Good Nerd, Bad Nerd, and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. After Show, which is coming back.
Yes, next week.
We are very excited for you.
I am very excited for me too.
And
I'm inhumanly excited.
Oh,
Because they're doing Inhumans.
it's not good.
oh dear. And to my right is Steve Black Bolt Tenney.
Hey, how's it going, folks? It's good to be back after a couple weeks off.
Yay, we missed you.
Glad to be missed.
I didn't really miss him.
Yeah, that's because you're cold. Cold-hearted.
It's my role in life.
Frozen.
So we are, of course, talking about this season finale of Agent Carter. Praying and hoping that this is not the last episode ever that we will be seeing of Agent Carter. We will probably find out in May whether or not there's going to be a season 3. So keep using the hashtag #RenewAgentCarter because we really want this. So let's jump in about initial reactions to this episode that should have been a 2-hour special, but we only got an hour. You first.
I gotta say, it had all of the things from Agent Carter that you love. It had Jarvis and Howard and Peggy all being like this kind of great comedy trio while still getting stuff done. It had characters acting the ways they should have, in the roles they should have. Wilkes was a character that I could sympathize for and care about in this episode. Chambly was comic relief in a good way. He wasn't there constantly sexually harassing Rose.
Oh, God.
But he was there, with the fainting when Whitney shows up, and he just all the characters were in the right spots. I do think the out of the blue arrival of Stark was just absurd.
Of course.
But that seems to kind of be his MO.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you?
I'm mostly on board with what Bryan had to say there. Mostly, the Stark showing up was slightly cold. Just like you guys said, it was very, very abrupt. Actually, the last 3 weeks of this show have been what we love about Peggy. I'm filling in a little bit because I wasn't here, but it was good. This week was good. I enjoyed it. I loved watching Peggy do what she does, and in 1940s LA was a bonus for us as well. So I loved it. It was a good episode for me.
All right. I liked it for the most part. I thought it deserved to have more than just an hour.
I agree there.
Very
much.
Again, I think this goes back to our big complaint with the whole season, is that they wasted too much time on the front half with stuff that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And they had all of this heavy, really important content that they crammed into the last 4 or 5 episodes. And they had these two-parters, which I felt like they needed to have this be another 2-hour thing because
11 episodes would have been fine.
the whole resolution with Whitney was just kind of like, yeah, it just happened. I like that all of the scientists figured it out and it, for the most part, worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like to Howard it up.
Well, it was just like, this feels really anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Hey, we had a plan, it worked. Let's get drinks? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Or everyone went in a different direction.
That never happens. Let's just
Enjoy the fact that everything worked for once.
Let's go to the beach.
Well, what I liked was that we finally got to see Peggy. The Peggy Carter we all love. There's somebody. Too bad we had to wait until the last episode to get her. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I think it just goes to show that we do need another season, because I think after seeing how this season timed itself out, they'll figure it out for next season.
And just to address the season 3 stuff, there was an interview Hayley Atwell did that just, and she was asked a lot about the season finale. And one of the things she said is whatever's in that file theoretically is the core of season 3. If season 3 is greenlit, that's what they'll be focusing on. So just that, for me, confirms that she's on board if season 3 is happening. And whatever this other pilot is that she's filming for ABC, that's not going to interfere. How do you feel about that,
No.
Steve?
No.
Here we go.
Look, there's this misconception out there, and it's gone through the YouTube page, several other places, that us, specifically myself, want to see this show be finished. I don't. I want to see more of Peggy, but so far what we've seen is that the numbers aren't where they need to be. The show did lack for a good portion of the season.
Yeah.
Now it's great. Yeah, this is what we've been looking for. It wouldn't surprise me if we have seen the end of Peggy on ABC. I have a deep hope that we might see Peggy, revived on perhaps Netflix,
Yeah.
another medium, and I think she would do better there than she would on ABC.
I think the
Yeah.
problem with that, though, is ABC likes having a Marvel property filling in this
Yes.
gap in the winter between the front half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the second half.
Yeah.
Right,
Because
but
it
they
keeps
might-
people tuned in
Absolutely.
weekly for Marvel.
But they might have a spin-off with Bobby and Hunter, which would be the equivalent of
They
when
could replace
Clint
it with.
and Bobby founded the West Coast Avengers in the comics. So, if that were to happen, which I love because Mockingbird has been one of my favorite characters since I was a child, it would also mean that they could free up Peggy Carter for Netflix, where Marvel, I think, lives best. It really does. You look
does.
at
It
Daredevil, you
succeeds.
look at Jessica Jones. It's just, she needs more time to thrive. So let's hope that it gets a season 3 and that it is on something like Netflix, because I do think this character is interesting enough, and I think the people around her are interesting enough, and I think if they were given proper time to do the character justice, it would be the best show on TV. It really would, aside from Jessica Jones, which is perfection. But
And who wouldn't love to see a young Hank Pym show up on television?
that would make
That's-
my life.
Seriously,
because
I'm right there.
Everyone hates on Hank Pym, but I love his character.
love Hank.
Even after everything he did to my girl Janet.
He's the
I
best.
prefer him to Tony Stark any day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the best mad scientist in the Marvel Universe. We love him. We
He's
want
the,
you, Hank. We
He's the
want you.
scientist supreme,
There you go.
according to Loki.
Yeah. So let's just get this out of the way. Getting back to Peggy. So we finally got the Peggy Sousa kiss,
Mm-hmm.
which had to happen, I guess, because that's where the story was going. And so that's all I'm going to say about that. If you guys want to say something more, to me it felt a little forced, as all of her romantic backstory. Well, not backstory, but the plot-driven romance really killed me, because I would have loved to have seen one season where she didn't have romance. So talk to me about the kiss.
I was ready for it.
I
I don't know. I'm
Exhausting.
the worst. I was totally ready for it. So it was good stuff. I was happy with what we saw. It was nice to see her finally get some kind of I don't want to say happiness, but some kind of conclusion in a relationship. She saw something conclude. She missed that with Steve. She gets it now on some level with Sousa. I'm happy about it. I liked it.
she made a decision.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we wanted from her the entire season? Make a decision?
I wanted from her the entire season for her to just be a damn good spy. But
No, she's not about that.
Romance is your
That is
thing.
not what this spy show is about.
Yeah.
I guess not. My microphone's off.
Okay,
you
so
go.
what's next though? Having mic issues.
We are having mic issues. Whitney Frost.
So Whitney, this episode. Okay, so she's full on cray possessed.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
She gets the full.
Can we? Okay, so I love she's designing this super rift generator to make a stabilized doorway. Mm-hmm. And when Peggy and Sousa come in to steal it, they're taking pictures in the dark with just these beat up, nasty cameras.
Yes.
That would have been a perfect time for some tech. Some Stark product instead of because I have a very nice digital camera, I would not have been able to get clear shots in that.
In the dark. No, and the other thing that got me was that Howard and his crew put the machine together from Whitney's plans.
Yeah, and she's still working on it.
Because if Howard had to create the device on his own, it wouldn't have worked. Going back to that. He's incapable of doing...
His flying car was working.
Okay, all right, you got me, Brian. You win. His flying
car was working.
Before it exploded.
On purpose.
Yes, well, that's a good point.
No, but it just... It was cool to see her genius.
Yeah.
In such a short amount of time, Whitney figured out how to stabilize.
But is that Whitney, or was that the dark matter speaking through her?
I think it was both.
Exactly. I don't think it was
her.
100% her.
Right.
She was capable of doing it, which I think is why it probably chose her.
Yeah.
But it was not entirely her. We can agree on that, right?
Well, of course.
Yeah, well, I think she was definitely being influenced
Yeah.
by something. Not Blackheart anymore.
Not Blackheart anymore.
Nope. What I loved is the actual conclusion that we got with her, though, where she's actually gotten to the point where she's tearing her face off. I want her to get her own spin-off show where we actually see her full-on become Madame Mask, and it's because she tears her face off. Anybody else? Is it just me? It might be just me.
Just you.
Yeah, that's just
I'm pretty
you.
sure
It's
it's
the
just
same
you.
one.
I'm cool with that.
I had the same
Violent.
speculation, though, that when she does come back, because they've saved her now, we can reuse this villain, she will come back as Madame Mask because she is going to be trying to gouge her face out to get at it.
Oh,
and that's
so
what
brilliant.
the guy said, the orderly was saying to Manfredi.
Yeah.
You can't give her those. She's going to use them to cut her face. Yeah. But going back, because the image popped up of when they sucked the dark matter out of her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Worst special effects of the season.
Oh, it looked like a cartoon.
Well,
I thought it was back in the 90s.
No, that was
None of the special effects have been great.
A lot of the
guys.
dark matter stuff looked decent.
I mean,
but
the black hole's cool.
The black
but-
hole looked
Black
great.
Hole was cool.
But the actual release of the...
Yeah.
It wasn't there for me.
It
No.
was
No, and I like the fact that we didn't get a one-and-done villain. I'm pretty sure this is the first Marvel property where a villain survives the end of the season.
We have
no.
two.
Kingpin.
Kingpin, that's true.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
3. So we
But
have 3.
Loki, Kingpin, and...
Kingpin.
4. Donnie.
So apparently my point is completely lost.
So Steve's wrong.
I'm wrong.
So count out his opinion on everything.
At Agent Carter AS, Steve's wrong is a totally good tweet there.
Let's
we do that all the
let's
time.
trend
though.
hashtag Steve's wrong.
Hashtag Steve's wrong. But my point being that I like the fact that she is still around. She's not capable right now.
No, but I think
clearly.
she is.
You don't? You
no,
think?
I think that's the whole thing. Is we're underestimating her. I think she's more dangerous, crazy, than she was when she was completely stable. I really do, because I think she's released any sort of inhibitors that she would have been conditioned
I think
with as a woman.
I kind of agree. I think she's going to come to like an equilibrium in this craziness. It's going to balance out what she's missing from the voice that was in her head with her own ego and passion and drive. And it's going to balance out. And that's where we're going to get the real Madame Mask in future seasons.
Especially because, you know, Manfredi's still around.
Best
interaction.
character on the show.
Yeah, best character.
Best character on the show.
Best interaction.
And you know what?
And legitimately the most realistic motivations.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
Out of everybody.
He's not above self-preservation. He's not above, making a deal with the devil, as Nana said.
Well, you
Mama
know,
Manfredi.
Mama
Manfredi. The funny thing is that he actually is the most human character on the show.
Yeah.
He does the most altruistic things. He sets out to stop Whitney, not because he's worried about himself or because he's trying to save the world, but because he is worried about Whitney. And that right there, just proved a lot about the character. I think you're right. I would love to see Whitney and Manfredi spin-off series.
Get their own show?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it would be the best.
Not with face tearing. Not with face tearing.
That's the best part.
Maybe just a mask.
Especially if it
post-face
was on
tearing.
Netflix. Like, if it were on Netflix, they could go full on gore with her just like...
No.
It would make my life. It would make my life. I also think Madame Mask is an
You've got
incredible
weird needs
character.
in your life.
I do.
It is
I do.
very
It's the
odd.
Viking in me. I can't help it. I need my oeuvre to be satisfied. But let
Yeah.
us know what you guys think. Tweet at us or chat at us on the YouTube. Let us know if you think Madame Mask needs her own show. because I know you agree with me, right? Right? Let's start that hashtag.
Stephanie's agreeing with herself in the monitor, so that's
Of
all
course I
about
am.
that.
Of course I am, because somebody has to agree with me. Darn it. So moving on. Now that we've seen more information about what the Zero Matter could be, I know you have an amazing theory that actually allows us to tie in Thanos with the upcoming Infinity Wars and Doctor Strange, which I'm very excited about because of the potential of the Ancient One.
Right. This is
that's gonna be incredible.
This is a pretty cool theory that I like, and if you have read any of the Marvel comics, specifically the War of the Kings and what came out of that, this is cool. And the idea is that it's no longer the dark dimension from the comics, but it's actually the Cancerverse. And you know, we have Wilkes' line where he says it felt like cancer when he was in the place. We know that you can't kill these people when they're infected with the dark matter. And the thing with the Cancerverse is death has been eliminated there, and life is just kind of growing like a cancer. And essentially, that universe is overflowing with. And since nothing can die, it's looking for a way to spill into ours.
So creepy.
So we see that. Whitney can't die when she's possessed with the black matter, or the dark matter, and that's why they have to shoot it out of her.
Well, Wilkes didn't even die after he exploded with it.
Right. So there is, which, as a lot of people are asking, what about Vernon? It's possible he's not dead because he was being killed with the dark matter at that time.
I'm also still convinced that Peggy was somehow infused with dark matter when the mist went through her, because that chick, I don't care how...
Yeah, she is awfully nimble for the wound she received a couple weeks ago.
Bar through her, and then she was running.
Rebar
so
straight through her abdomen.
I would actually love if that turned out to be true. If she was infused with some of that, and then that allows her to heal quicker. And then, unfortunately, Vernon Masters can come out.
So and
love Vernon.
Continuing this, the voice that would be in Peggy's head. I have the name written down. It's
Shumagorath.
Shumagorath. He's think of like a Lovecraftian demon.
Yeah.
Oh, he's wonderful.
He's definitely
There he
Marvel's
is.
interpretation
So
of Cthulhu
wonderful.
and the whole.
So this guy
Lovecraft
is like
mythology.
the bane of the main Marvel Universe existence. He's like all the other kind of magic demons that are trying to invade, like Dormammu and Mephisto and all these guys. And his connection with Doctor Strange that Stephanie's super excited about. He at one point possesses the Ancient One, and the Ancient One is Doctor Strange's teacher.
Yes.
And Stephen Strange is forced to kill him.
Yes.
Because this is how...
That's the only way you can kill it.
This is how this demon is getting...
And he's actually been in this world for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
And he'll take over, and then they'll get rid of him. And then he'll take over again. And he was trapped in... Which mountain was it? And then these two newlywed sorcerers actually released him.
Like you do.
Yeah.
Like you do, because they actually wanted to destroy him, but of course they didn't know what they were doing, so they
That's what you
unleashed
do on
him.
Your honeymoon. Yeah.
Hey, let's go unleash a demon and try and destroy
I mean, that's what me and my husband did on our honeymoon.
You know how to party.
Ooh.
How to party.
My favorite line about Shumagorath is that he's demons' nightmares.
Yes.
That's a great line.
Or the nightmare of demons.
Yeah, nightmare
That
of
just
demons.
tells you the stakes with this guy.
Yeah, he's big time. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens. Let us know what you guys think. If you think that it is going to be the Cancerverse, or if you think it is going to be Blackheart. I'm hoping not, because I want it to all tie into the Ancient One, because I love his character and this idea of having to kill your master. It's the Sith lover in me. So let's move on to the good guys. I thought it was delightful how everybody came together and started building machines.
You mean the Three Stooges?
The Three Stooges.
Ba-dum-bum.
Jarvis, Sousa, and Samberly. Wow. I mean, they weren't the only Three Stooges, but one of my favorite images was actually Jarvis, Stark, and was it Wilkes?
No, it was Wilkes, Stark, and Shamerly.
Shamerly.
They were all, and when they're arguing about what to
Right. And then Peggy just comes in. What was it? The Rift Creator?
Rift
Maker.
Rift
Rift
Generator.
Generator.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Oh, okay. So We're having all sorts of technical issues, so thanks for sticking around. But we will be right back with your fan questions, so stay tuned and make sure to tweet at us.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Oh, you'd want to take the time travel the whole way back.
How did we not figure that out?
We had a crazy vampire threesome.
And you can't unsee that. That's burned into my brain now.
I was like,
How did you get here? No. Look at me, I'm dancing.
You know why we saying yes. You know why we saying yes.
He was like, yeah, I'll tell you whatever you want.
He is quite something.
and we're like, inseparable. She was shadier than Sunglass Hut with Ray-Bans on sale, ladies and gentlemen.
It wasn't, so come on.
You just went to a totally different direction on that.
When a billionaire goes broke, it means he's got like $4 million.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
I found her to be deliciously out of control.
Oh man, looking forward to this fight.
Ooh, they about to get together. Watch, it's about to go down.
Somebody better take some pictures of this.
She just slapped the crap out of Nick.
And he's just
It's all good.
You can't count anything out.
Look at you.
It's been another awesome night at the Stream.tv, guys.
Thank you for joining us, you guys.
Yes.
We love you.
Welcome back, you guys. We're excited to have you back. So,
Hopefully you can hear us all now.
Yeah.
So that's good.
minor technical issues. We actually decided that we want to get back to talking about the amazing teamwork that happened in this episode. I feel like this episode, we finally got to see them come together seamlessly as they're saving the world. My favorite image was Sousa when he was upside down and Peggy, without a thought for herself, dove for, what was that, a fire hose?
The hose, yeah.
Something like
And
that.
everybody else chipped in instead of standing there mouth agape as would have happened in all the other episodes.
Well, it took. Okay, they were having their normal end of the world. Let's have a discussion about it. And
Yeah, of
Sousa,
course,
you know,
yeah.
Very
definitely.
British of them, by the
I
way.
mean, yeah.
But then even then, Sousa's like going towards them. They're like, no, wait, stop.
True. But the minute he was in danger,
Yes.
they
then
sprang
they
to
all
action.
jumped in, and there was no. It was like we're a team.
Yeah, which is what kind of counts, right? Like that's more important is the fact that in the end.
I do
The
like
Scooby Gang
though
acted as a
that
whole.
I do like that they finally, you know, Vernon Masters is cleaned out of the SSR.
Yeah.
It's back to normal. It's clean, but we can't bring every other agent. We can't bring a ton of people just to be safe.
Yeah, of course not. We got nothing.
There it is.
So they didn't want to write dialogue for
No, they didn't.
Agent 4.
I think what
course not.
we do need to talk about here as part of the Scooby Gang, and it's important because I got shot down last week when I brought it up in the chat,
No.
is Jack Thompson, the undersung hero of the season.
No.
No,
Jack had a full-scale redemption arc this year.
No.
Yes, yes. We saw him go from Schlemiel to a good dude who actually was setting out to do the right thing, not because it would advance him, not because he would get something out of it, but because it was the right thing.
No,
he
I
thought
disagree.
he was doing the best
Nope.
thing.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, because the reason why he joins in is because he learns that Peggy's not going to turn him in. He doesn't care. Everything he does is to
He
advance
could have
himself.
walked. He could have walked. He could have been
No,
done.
he couldn't
He could have
have.
been out of the
No,
situation.
because he has to
and
prove
stuck
himself.
around.
No,
exactly.
he has to
had
prove
do
himself to them.
The right thing.
He doesn't actually care, except he cares what other people think about him, which is why he's such a patsy. He's so awful.
He's not.
I mean, he's interesting as
He's
a
a
character.
good
He's
boy.
interesting. Oh no.
He's a good
He's
boy.
interesting as a character, and I do think having him there, I begrudgingly admit, did help push the plot along, and we did see something of a jump, a slingshot, if you will.
A redemption arc. The
Inhumans.
word you're looking for is redemption arc.
I will
think it
say,
is.
I will say they were giving him a redemption arc,
Yeah.
but it was very incomplete, and they got to him taking the dinner order way too quickly.
Yeah, he did kind of jump to a almost subservient role a little faster than you would have
That's
expected.
because he only cares what people think about him.
You know what? I'm gonna get dinner.
Oh la la. Oh,
He's a
bless
good-
him.
The way I wanted that scene to play out was not that he's gonna be like all like, "Hey, I'm your buddy," but instead have Peggy be like, "You know what? Get us some coffee,"
Yeah.
because that would have been.
Well,
from
she
season
kind of
1.
did. She took it one step
you know.
further. She wanted him to feed her food. That's even more embarrassing than coffee.
I don't know. Coffee is embarrassing.
Coffee's so
I
embarrassing.
don't understand the level of food to embarrassment.
I don't either,
correlation
but I'm
being
going
drawn.
with it because it's more involved. Who did have an arc, though, is Wilkes, who everybody knows.
I'm sorry. I'm not on board with Wilkes. I'm not.
Oh, I'm still not. I think
Yeah.
he's insufferable. But I do think he
He
finally...
at least apologized
Yeah,
to people.
exactly.
He
Yes.
recognized he screwed up. It wasn't like just,
Big time.
"Are you gonna tell on me?" It was, "No, I did mess up, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry."
Yeah, his round of apologies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I loved
And
that.
I did like the
Jack? Well, okay.
It's better to get half a dance than no dance at all.
I'm so sick of the dance
That was
analogy.
great.
No, it wasn't. Let
so
Peggy
good.
just be a person, please.
I have literally nothing good to say about Wilkes.
Because he's
I
a terrible
Yeah, he is. He's a bad human. He's an incomplete character and a bad human.
You know what he didn't
Be done
do?
with him. Don't
though?
bring him back on Netflix.
He wasn't
If you're
trying
listening
to
to
put
me-
the moves on Peggy.
Don't bring him back on. He was trying to put the moves on
was.
everything
He
all
was.
season long.
Yeah,
No,
he
at this
was.
episode, he finally realized.
No,
he had,
no.
he had stepped back. He's like,
No, he's like, I'm
We
still
missed our
going to say
time.
something creepy, but, maybe in the future I
King of
can
creep.
sexually harass you further.
King of creep. King of creep.
Thank you.
Wow.
He is the king of creep. He's awful. But I do think he did find a way to, make it.
you were predisposed not to
Okay.
give him the benefit of the doubt, just like we're predisposed not to give Jack the benefit of the doubt.
That's
This is the Wilkes side, that's the Thompson side. It's okay. He did
the Thompson
apologize,
barrier.
though. It's a pretty skinny barrier. So let's move on to the Twitter universe.
All right, let's shoot to the tweets. Starting with @Stephen DiCiampa. He comes at us with that Jarvis Stark back and forth was gold. #Agent Carter, #Agent Carter AS. It is. Dominic Cooper is fantastic. He's like clearly one of the most enjoyable parts of the show. And then seeing him with Jarvis and their interaction is great.
Yeah, Stark is his best when he is with Jarvis.
It's not
because
even just Jarvis.
Keeps him in.
Stark makes everyone's
Everyone else
interaction
look better.
When Manfredi, when Manfredi, one of the highlights of the show, comes in,
Oh, that was
and they have this
wonderful.
like, put the mustard down, and then it's like, their old college buddies.
Yeah.
I know. Oh God! I mean,
they're-
look at
come
that.
on,
Putnam.
that was
look at
just-
that
They're
Putnam.
philanderers. They're buddies
Oh,
in
I know.
philandering.
It's like
Talking about the crazy women they were with. Anything with Manfredi. I
That-
mean,
that-
Marina's
Even
a delight.
his
that scene was probably the highlight, because that's even where we get the. Do you have a painting of yourself in every room?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Art
They
makes a house a
finally-
home, Brian.
They finally addressed the
It's a
Stellan
collection.
Starks.
Which at
Stalin, Hitler
least that
Starks, yeah.
tells us the writers are aware, and they probably were filming it, and they're like, "Holy crap! Set dressers put that picture
Everywhere.
Okay, we gotta acknowledge
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Stephen DiCiampa. Moving on. @Huntre. Sure, why not? A 1940 salute to the cast and crew of Agent Carter. You gave it a lot of heart. Question, where the hell did Dottie get off to?
I want her to have her own spin-off as well.
Okay,
Dottie's great. I miss her.
she's a
She showed
super
back up
spy,
again.
and she was
wonderful.
not their top priority.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't, even though she was the top priority 6 months ago, or 3 months ago, or whenever she got to Los Angeles, because she had just caught her.
Yeah,
So she's clearly still
she's still a priority,
yeah,
but
she's on the most wanted list. right?
world-ending
Yeah, that's a little more
exotic
important.
energies
Yeah.
are
Oh yeah, I know. I'll
bit
go with
higher.
that. I'll
A
go
little
with
more
that.
important.
I'll go with that.
Somebody actually said on Twitter, and I loved it, that we need a Black Widow in the world, so they had to let Dottie go.
That works.
I'm all for that.
Well, and I think what Vernon told her is legitimate. I don't think she can go back to Leviathan. I think she's
Of
burned.
course not.
No, she is.
She can't go
So-
back to Russia. She can't go back
She
anywhere.
can't go anywhere.
They don't know what she said to the SSR or anything like
Yeah.
that. So she's clearly. But here's the thing: she's not Black Widow because she is infinitely cooler than the Black Widow, right?
Well, that's because they really did not do justice to Natasha, in my opinion.
It kind of stinks. I feel bad for her, but it's like
I
this
know.
Dottie character is like so much more
She's what
badass.
She's
I
what
mean,
Natasha actually is in the comics, and what Natasha should have been in the movies.
I'll go with that.
That's
Yep.
how I feel about it.
with
This
that.
is why I love Dottie. Because
Dottie's great.
I love the
Give
comic
us more Dottie.
Natasha. I hate the movie Black Widow.
Moving on to the next one and
You're
final
gonna love
one.
this one. I do this for you.
I seriously, I wish you guys could see my screen, what I'm looking at right now. It says, @Luna is a mermaid. That's a good Twitter handle.
Is she?
In all caps, Redemption Arc Thompson, Redemption Arc Thompson, #Agent Carter. You win today, Luna is a mermaid. You get my firm and hearty handshake and congratulations of getting it right.
No,
Don't listen to them.
we love you, mermaids.
Don't listen
but
to them.
No.
They're wrong.
Of course.
The Thompson barrier will protect us.
I'm so glad he's
The period
dead.
on that arc is he's dead.
He is not dead. Not dead.
Yes.
Shot in the upper right torso, away from any vital organ.
Away
and
from
his
any
eyes
hospital.
Were
Maybe he
closed.
bled out enough. He
His
bled out
eyes were
enough.
closed.
He
No,
bled out.
because they would have come to kick him out of the room, which he thought they were doing when he got shot. Somebody is going to find him and send him to the hospital, and we are going to get a whole boatload more of Jack Thompson
I think
if we get a season 3.
We better get a season 3 because I
Hope
want to
so.
know this whole Agent M. Carter business. I think it's her brother.
It's got
It's
to
gotta
Although
be
it
her
would be,
brother.
Gotta
it would
be the
actually be
brother.
more delightful if it turned out Peggy did something really heinous.
She was just a horrible human, too.
Yeah, like she
Yeah.
just had a moment where
Yeah.
she snapped. Everybody snaps.
And just mowed down a room full of Germans.
Yeah, maybe
It wasn't
she
even
was
Germans. It was just like
A
children.
town. It was just
She pulled an Anakin
Children
Skywalker.
can be Germans, Brian. I don't know if you're aware of that. It's not like an.
Oh my
They really
gosh.
can't.
I'm going to end that conversation by saying thank you so much for joining us. I'm so sorry for Bryan Scheidler, and I'm so sorry for Steve Black Bolt Tenney. I'm not sorry for myself, however. You're just stuck with me. So thank you so much for joining us for this season. It's been a lot of fun, you guys. And keep using Renew Agent Carter as a hashtag, and you can keep tweeting at us. We'll still answer your questions. We love talking to you guys about what you think about everything. Use
We
the
got 2
hashtag.
shout-outs here.
Yeah.
did.
We
Yeah,
got to
couple
give a
shout-outs.
shout-out
Oh,
to,
yeah.
to Gogo in the chat, who's been there every week.
You're amazing.
Go,
You
go!
win, bud.
Love
You win.
you.
And
Love you.
I believe
We have a happy birthday to Stream TV's own Jordan Cordenhoven. Sorry.
Sure.
She's 25 on Saturday, and we appreciate you so much. You're one of our biggest champions, and you're awesome.
Go and Jordan.
Go and Jordan.
That
Two
seems
of our
like a
favorite
spin-off to me.
peeps.
Gogo and Jordan.
They're actually the villains that are being
Da-da-da-da-da.
hunted by Bobby and Hunter.
There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
Which is why they had to found the West Coast Avengers. All about it. We just figured this out, y'all.
I know.
We just figured it
Writing
out.
scripts on TV.
You can have that one, Marvel. That's on us.
Go ahead. It's a freebie.
It's a freebie. Well, thank you so much, you guys. And yeah, keep tweeting at us. Keep using the hashtag Renew Agent Carter. Let's get a season 3. Have a great one, you guys.
Stay classy.
Bye.